Today, I'm gonna be giving you guys the top 5 BOLOs of all time to sell or to resell with big profits.
Popping tags, now it's time to take it home. Let's get it sold. I'm in the thrift game. No, I ain't about that fame. The record shops for 20 years in the game.
Guys, the King of Thrift here, back with another video to help you guys crush it out there in a reselling marketplace. And if you do want to become a full-time reseller, buying and reselling on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Etsy, I mean, you name it, guys, that is what I teach here, so you are in the right spot. And I've been doing this for over 15 years, guys. You are dealing with a seasoned expert in this game. To all my returning subscribers, welcome back, and thanks for tuning in to another video. And for those of you who have never been here before, make sure you sign up right now if you're serious about working from home, being your own boss. Now, when I started in this game over 15 years ago, the problem that I would have on a regular basis is I would go out, I would hit the thrift shops, I would hit the garage sales, and I would be out, 4 or 5, sometimes the whole day, sometimes with an 8-9 hour day, doing nothing but hitting thrift shops, garage sales. And on top of that, I was attempting, a little retail arbitrage. I was very new at the time. So there's no information as far as, to guide me along my way, as far as to how to avoid the pitfalls that I endured and all the money that I lost and all the bad decisions that I made. So thankfully you guys are not gonna have to deal with that. You don't have to. There are a plethora of resources out there for you guys, for resellers, not to mention this video right here and my channel. So what I would do is I would go out and I would spend all day shopping and thrifting, and I would get home, and I mean, the thing is, it just wasn't enough inventory. I mean, it was money, right? I was making money, but it wasn't enough to make that day worth it. It didn't make enough money. It sure wasn't enough to make a full-time income. So what I did is I basically, as I got home and realized, time after time, the reason I didn't have enough inventory is because I didn't know enough about enough different things. I wasn't schooled as far as in different items, and clothing, and I mean, there's electronics and on, but I just didn't know enough. So needless to say, I wasn't able to thrift enough. I wasn't able to get enough, and not even close to enough for a full-time income. So needless to say, guys, I did struggle, and that's why I made this video, so you guys don't have to. So without further ado, guys, let's get right into the top 5 BOLOs of all time. We're gonna do these in order of the least difficult to the most difficult, all right? So we're gonna start with the easiest thing to buy and resell, and that is books. Books are easy to buy and sell. There's a ton of them. I mean, when coming up in this game, I actually did buy and sell books. I didn't do a ton of them. I never really got into it, hardcore. I'm not a Reezy. I'm not, one of these book guys. But I have sold, and I still do to this day. I buy and sell books, and I have the biggest, most awesome library you can imagine because of that. Because I was able to, you get books for pennies on the dollar. They are not cheap, number one. If they're good books, if they're in demand, I would say, the best books to look for is going to be instructional books, obviously. Bestsellers are going to be really good. Manuals, that kind of stuff. So, but if you're really into, reselling books, and that's something you really want to get into, then I would recommend Reezy Resells. Go over there and hit that guy up, and he has been doing this. He is a pro in the book sales game, among other things. But go ahead and hit that guy up if you are serious about learning to buy and resell books. All right, guys, number 2 on the top 10 countdown of the easiest items to resell for big profits.
Shoes.
If you actually go to the internet and you type in reseller, you know what they pull up? Shoe sellers. Matter of fact, brand new shoe sellers, 9 times out of 10. But I do recommend shoes. Shoes are very, very easy. Now, if you're not afraid of a little hard work, shoes are awesome. But the thing is, you are going to have to clean them. You are going to have to shine them many times. And shoes are dirty. Shoes are foul, filthy things. So if you don't want to get dirty, I would stay away from shoes. But if you want to make money, shoes is a good way to go. All right, guys, number three.
Electronics and cell phones.
Small electronics and cell phones. And the reason I say small is because obviously we have the shipping factor to to account for. So if you're doing small electronics, the good thing about them is they're small and they're expensive. So with that in mind, guys, be on the lookout. I mean, you can pick up phones. You can buy them in Craigslist. You can buy them on Facebook. I mean, people are almost willing to just throw their phones away. So a lot of times you can get them, very, very cheap. You've got to be out there. You got to be searching. You got to be hunting. But if you are out there and you are looking, you are going to find these small electronics, MP3 players, cameras. I mean, even older cameras, older MP3 players, older phones. I mean, it doesn't matter. All this stuff sells, and if you can get a good price on it, you're gonna make money on it. There are guys who all they teach are how to sell cell phones. So they sell cell phones. So with that in mind, guys, Coming in at number 3, and that's why I say cell phones, small electronics. They're easy. There's tons of them. I mean, it's a throwaway economy, guys. We are going through these things faster than we can keep up. So the stuff, and my point is, the stuff is being tossed out as fast as it's being made, which means good for us because, you know, as we all know here in America, in our throwaway society, that is good for resellers like you and I. So coming in at number 3, guys, small electronics and cell phones. Okay, next, guys, we have sporting goods. Sporting goods are awesome. The best thing about I sold tons of sporting goods coming up, and I still do to this day. And what I really, really love about sporting goods is the fact that they basically last forever, guys. They're built for strength, for their toughness, you know, and to take a beating. And the good thing about sporting goods is they're not cheap. Baseball bats, gloves, footballs, football helmets. I mean, all that stuff is very expensive. It's specialized. Anytime you can get anything specialized, guys, it's a little freebie. You are going to pick up more profit on it. So, you know, like I say, niche down. Like I always say, guys, niche down. Don't skip the sporting goods section. I mean, there's golf. I mean, there's tennis. I mean, there's tennis rackets. There's golf clubs. There's golf balls. I mean, there's footballs. I mean, like I said, the list goes on and on. And the best thing about it is you don't have to worry about it when you ship them out. You don't have to worry about them breaking. Nothing's gonna break. It's all gonna get there safe and sound. So that's one less thing to have to worry about. And when you store it, you can just throw it in a pile if you want to. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's gonna happen to it. I wouldn't recommend that sort of storage system or that sort of an inventory type management system. But if you like, at one point in my thrifting career, I did have a pile. And I'm sure many of you listening to this have probably more than a few death piles. We'll talk about getting rid of those death piles in another video. All right, guys, now that brings us to our number 1 spot. Most profitable items to resell on eBay or to flip for profit anywhere for that matter. Are you ready?
Clothing.
That's right, guys, clothing. Now, I say clothing for the last because clothing is the most difficult item to sell, guys. And the reason being, you've got, you know, everybody's out there selling it. It's the most plentiful thing in every thrift shop. So, of course, that is what everyone is going to gravitate towards because, you know, they assume they're seeing all their favorite resellers on YouTube and they're telling them to sell clothes. Clothes are not the easiest thing to sell, but they are out there. And the best thing about it is its supply is basically endless, at least at this point. That's why clothes come in at, you know, the last spot because they are the most difficult. You really need a ton of specialized knowledge if you really want to make a really good living at clothing. And if you do, I recommend if you do go into clothing, then I mean niche down and you need to spend your days, your nights for the next few months just consumed with clothing and learning everything you can about it. All right, guys, now armed with this newfound knowledge, you should be able to when you go out to the next thrift shop, to the next garage sale, I want you to hit up these 5 sections. I want you to go straight to the books, see what you can find there. I want you to look for manuals. I want you to look for instructional books. I want you to look for books with lots of cool pictures, very shiny, you know, those sort of books, they cost more to produce, therefore they sell for more. If they're not a manual, you know, that's what you're looking for, besides bestsellers and that type of stuff. Hit the other sections that I mentioned, you know, these other 4 sections. You want to hit each one, and if you could pick up a book over there, and you could pick up a golf club here, and then you can go over to the clothing section and pick up a jacket, you know, and then you hit up a couple of other sections. And if you do that at one thrift shop, you do it at 1 garage sale, 2 garage sales, 3. By the time, you know, if you can just pick up, like I said, just 1 item in each of these categories, and then if you were to hit up, say, 10 shops in a day, you pick up 5 items at each shop, which is not a really good haul. But if you're just picking up 1 item in each of these places, then you're looking at 5 times, you know, 10 shops. You do the math, guys. That is going to give you the inventory that you need as far as, you know, to make this a full-time income because, hey, without the supply, this is not going to work. Hopefully this has given you a little more ammo so when you go out there, you can crush it on eBay or you can crush it reselling, Mercari, whatever it is that you're doing. And if it has, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And remember, if you haven't already, you need to subscribe to this channel if you want to learn how to resell full-time. Thanks for tuning in for another video, guys. This has been King of Thrift. I thank you guys for watching. And until my next video, you guys be good.